It's your weekly Blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game.
Hey everybody, Chris Cotton here with your weekly Blitz. This week we're going to be talking about price, value, and perception. But before we do though, I wanted to give you the opportunity to voice any questions, comments, and or concerns directly with me. And most importantly, if you have any topic ideas, don't hesitate to email me, chris@AutoFix-Auto.com. It's a beautiful day outside. Let's get started. Before we get into the meat and potatoes with this one, I wanted to make sure that you understand that in the past 8 years, I've had all types and kinds of businesses reach out to me and ask for help. Most of the time, I don't turn anyone away, or at least say in the beginning, I used to not turn anyone away. So in the past, I previously coached doctors, chiropractors, veterinarians, exotic game ranches, wedding venues, flower shops, etc. So while it was great, it also taught me that I wanted to work with auto repair shops only. The lesson that this one comes from is a pizza and wings place that I coached for a while. I think it's a great lesson with a spin that doesn't come from the automotive world. So hopefully you get something out of it. So price is what you pay, value is how you feel about that transaction, and perception is how the customer processes in their mind how they feel about your company before and after they experience the price and the value. Several years ago, I had a conversation with a restaurant owner client who's having issues with potential customers understanding why his chicken wing order costs more. So just like we have average repair order on the automotive side, we had an ATO or average ticket order for him, kind of the same thing. One of the things that he stressed with me was that he used a bigger, better quality wing than his competitors. And if you know a little bit about the food industry, they have different classes of food that you can get, quality and everything that. One of the issues they were having is they were having problems conveying to the customer why they should buy his wings and pay more for a quote unquote the same order, right? The problem is how do we make the customers understand that his wings are bigger, better, and worth paying more money for, right? So during our conversation one week, we're talking about this and we decided that he needed to do more research. So he went to every competitor in town and bought a basket of chicken wings. Sure enough, everybody's wings had more wings, but the quality of those little wings was not as good as his were. And they were basically half the size of what his wings were. And so we're looking at these. He sent me pictures, he sent me video, and we're walking through this. We're talking through this. What do we do? So what do we do? In his market, the traditional way to sell wings in the town was to sell them by the piece. My order has 10 wings in it, or you get a 5-wing order, a 10-wing order, a 20, 30, 40, 50-wing order. That's how everybody had always done it, sold it by the piece. And so he was telling people my 10-piece order is X versus everybody else's, and they were less because they were smaller, inferior wings. What I wanted him to do is I wanted him to weigh the wings in his basket, including his own. What we found was that his 10 wings weighed about 1.5 pounds, while the rest of the people, theirs weighed less than a pound per order. So how do we convey that his wings were better? So here's the solution. We thought about the problem. We decided that we needed to change the way he sold his wings by selling them by the pound. And so that's what we did. So his 10-piece order would now become the 1.5 pound order, and so on. So we could still tell the customer how many wings our order would have in it, but now we showcased the information and we were able to tell them that our competitor's same 10-piece order had 1 pound instead of the 1.5 pounds that we had. And so basically we changed the terminology, and by researching his competitors, we found a way to change his customer's perception. After that, his wing orders went up. He's able to charge whatever he wants to for his wing orders and make whatever his margin he wants his margin to be, because nobody else does it that way. And then still to this day, I called like yesterday doing research for this, him and a couple of shops in town. He still sells by the pound. Everybody else still sells by the piece. One of the things that I want to tell you is you never compete with your competition on price alone. Find out what you're unique at, find out what makes you better, and go from there. Kind of to wrap it up, the words of wisdom: if you don't like what your competitor is doing or how they're selling a product that competes with yours, find out how you're better by doing the research, find out what makes you better and spin it in your favor, and then sell that. Sell the spin. Sell what makes you better. I'm going to go just a little bit further on this one, okay, and talk about in my shop, every place in town sold interstate batteries. Like when I mean everybody did it. And most everybody in town was selling interstate batteries for $20 above cost. And then they weren't charging to put them in. After running into this 6 months, 8 months, a year, I finally found another battery supplier, and I went with Continental. And nobody in my town sold Continental batteries. And I had Interstate pull all their stuff out of there and strictly went to Continental batteries. And at that point, I had nothing to compete against. Nobody knew what a Interstate, or I'm sorry, nobody knew what a Continental battery, what it was worth. So I set the market. I set the standard. I set the pricing. I charged what I wanted to charge. I charged to install it, and then went through there and ended up going on a couple of trips with Continental and winning some awards out of that as well. So again, think about what the competition's doing. Find out how you're better. Spin the way you're better into doing what you do, and then sell that. Have a great day, everybody.